and happy fucking Wednesday, you guys. And welcome to People Talk Now. I'm your host, Vanessa Herrera, and this is a show where you ask about it and I talk about it. And let's not forget, you guys, that we are constantly, it seems, trying to change the pace out there and what people are calling better days. So yes, good morning, happy rising. I hope that you're doing good this morning, that you woke up with positive attitude and, you're really ready to just basically finish anything that you didn't get to finish the day before. And you're really working on yourself, on your health, on your mental, physical, spiritual, all around, and that you're able to see the positive side of today. And so what are we talking about this morning? Well, before I get started with today's topic, just wanted to say that if you've been listening to all my episodes thus far, thank you so much for being such a supportive listener. And if you're new to this channel and you don't know who I am, well, my name is Vanessa Herrera, and I'm the host of People Talk Now. So I wanted to talk about patience today because we can all use a little more patience, right? And the reason why I wanted to talk about patience is because I am always getting told like, oh, you have so much patience. But is patience something that we are born with? Well, I don't know about that. I don't think so. But I just wanted to say that patience is something that we can work towards. It is something that we can grow as a skill. And it is a positive trait, not just for our everyday life, but for our health as well. So today I'm going to be sharing 22 simple yet effective ways to be more patient. So patience isn't something that you would typically find listed like as a positive trait on a resume, but there is no doubt that patient people tend to be more pleasant to be around, both in the workplace and in day-to-day life. It's also a skill that almost everyone could improve upon. Whether you've been accused of being impatient, which I have a time or two, or you don't need anyone to tell you patience is a strong skill of yours. Don't kill anybody. The good news is you can make improvements and become a more patient person. Here's a quick introduction to the benefits of patience and no fewer than 22 ways to boost your proficiency in this area. So, here we go. The benefits of patience, you guys. I'm sure you've heard from your grandma, maybe your parents, or an aunt or an uncle that patience is a virtue. But what does that mean exactly? What does it mean? There are many benefits of being a patient person, both at work and in your private life. And generally, it means you are perceived as a more relaxed, friendly person, are better able to focus on goals, can make more rational decisions, are less prone to angry outbursts, and you can learn new things rather than giving up out of impatience. Have stronger mental health due to less stress. This single, often overlooked skill offers us so many numerous advantages, and fortunately, it is not something you have to be born with. Anyone, even you, yes, you that's listening right now. Thank you for listening, by the way. Anyone can work to become a more patient person. All it takes is a few smart strategies like these that I'm about to share. And before I jump into this really quick, I just wanted to say, if you are shocked today and you wanted to see my face, I know. I wanted to see your faces too. But since I'm talking about patience today, and I really just missed my mic, talking into my mic because I love this mic, I wanted you guys to be able to hear me clearly and just focus on what I'm about to tell you instead of watching something. So, number 1, practice being patient. It might sound simple, but practicing patience truly is a legitimate way to improve your patience. After all, how do you improve your skills in playing the piano or making the perfect meal? Practice, practice, practice. Everyday life will no doubt provide you with ample opportunities to practice your patience. But if you would prefer to have more focus and control when practicing, try a few of these things. Read a difficult novel. Challenge yourself. Complete a large jigsaw puzzle or a book of Sudoku, or commit to cooking meals from scratch. Take a public transport to work. Ban yourself from looking at your phone while waiting for appointments. Offer to babysit for a friend or family member. All of these tasks require patience. Why? Because they force you to wait and push you to remove expectations, which are keys to becoming a more patient person. Number 2, focus on why you are impatient. Why are you so impatient? Focusing on the reason behind your impatience can help you shine a spotlight on your impatience. Like, what is it? What's going on? Do you detest waiting in line at the grocery store because you're hungry and want to go home to eat? Or because you're running late for an event? Inspect the real reasons why you're feeling impatient. And when you acknowledge those reasons, you may be better placed to take control over those feelings, and you'll stop stressing out about them. Just stop. Just stop. Okay? Number 3, remind yourself that you are merely uncomfortable. Life is the longest thing any of us will do. But sometimes mere minutes can feel like they stretch an eternity. And trust me, sometimes they feel that way. But when you're in these situations, like being put on hold or you're stuck in traffic, it can feel extremely fucking uncomfortable. And you're waiting with little to no control over the situation. However, though, try to remember you're simply uncomfortable. You don't like that feeling. And these situations are not impossible or life-threatening. So even though it may not be enjoyable, it is certainly bearable. Learning to recognize and accept discomfort may make it easier to cope with. Number 4, distract yourself. Many situations that demand patience simply require you to wait. That's right, just wait. Such as long as, maybe you're waiting in a lengthy line at a restaurant, or, maybe your toddler's having an outburst. Listen to a podcast like this one, wink, wink, or any other one that you enjoy. Type out a quick email you've been meaning to write. Beat the next level on Candy Crush. I don't know. I said Candy Crush because it seems like they're always sending me ads. Or complete your daily minutes on Duolingo to learn a new language. There are always ways to fill time that don't include simply fuming over the situation and feeling angry or negative. Number 5, this is important, so listen carefully. Know what triggers your impatience. If the light bulb in your bathroom blows one morning, right? It's probably going to be a little more than a minor inconvenience in your day. If it blows for the 4th time in a month, you'd have to be a saint not to lose your patience. Most of us have common triggers that set off feelings of impatience, and they often come from reoccurring events. And this could be anything from noisy neighbors every night to kids not tidying away their shoes after school, or now that, they're still in quarantine, maybe they're just leaving a little bit more messes than usual. Recognize these triggers. Recognizing them can help you manage your impatient responses. Understand that you can find ways to alleviate or avoid them. Perhaps with a call to your local council or rewards for tidy children. Or learn to accept that they will continue to occur and that you being impatient won't help, not even the slightest bit. So just keep that in mind. Number 6, practice empathy. In many cases, the reason for your impatience is another person. And in most cases, a little empathy can go a long way. For example, imagine you're stuck behind an elderly gentleman or woman in line at the grocery store. And you're mad as you watch them slowly count out their cash and coins. This is your time to take a moment to remember to be empathetic rather than impatient. Even if they're making you run late, think of them as your elderly relatives, your own loved ones. Reminding yourself that the cause of your impatience is only human and that they're likely doing the best they can. That may help you feel considerably more patient in the moment. I know it does to me. Number 7. This is something that I like to practice a lot. Practice meditation and mindfulness. Now, I'm constantly telling you guys, try meditation. I've given you advice on it. But if you feel like that you need more, please feel free to reach out to me. You guys know that you can. Meditation and mindfulness are useful tools for dealing with practically any negative emotion, and they're especially effective for impatience. Trust and believe, okay? Mindfulness is considered to be a mental skill in which proponents pay attention to the present moment, allowing them to feel aware of thoughts and feelings and be grateful for the small things. Meditation is something that I love. Why do I love it so much? Because it's a chance to simply just breathe and feel your body relax and focus on nothing more than the next breath, which can help reset the way that you think and move the focus away from any negative emotions that you're feeling right now. These two practices together can offer a powerful antidote to the stress of impatience. First of all, various studies have been documented their positive effects on lowering blood pressure, decreasing anxiety and stress, and improving blood circulation. So please, y'all, for the love of meditation and mindfulness, try it out. Number 8, make use of patience-building apps. Now, I'm going to suggest some apps to you guys. I personally have them downloaded. They're amazing. They do work. I'm not trying to sell you anything. These apps work, especially if you're trying to build, you're trying to de-stress yourself. You're trying to improve your mind. These apps help. So they say there's an app for everything these days. So naturally, there's software that can help you improve your patience and de-stress and improve your mindfulness. So here are a few apps that can help. Headspace. It's a personal meditation guide. Pretty awesome. Smiling Mind is a mindfulness app that lets you track your mood. Personal Zen is a science-based app created to reduce stress and anxiety. Calm Build Patience is an app that delays your text reply to reduce rash messages. So if you're the type of person that gets upset and you send bad text messages to your boyfriend or your girlfriend or a friend or somebody, you might want to get this app. And last but not least, Happify is an app to build resilience and improve your mental health. And need I say, you guys, these apps work. I have some of them. They're really awesome. They're a great way to keep yourself accountable and just jot down your thoughts. And you can look back and, they kind of remind you of things to be grateful for, which I really love that. Even though some of these apps are not designed purely for patience building, they are all focused on mental health in some form. So, which can affect your impatience, So, again, it's a great way to work on that. Number 9, note down your impatience. Sometimes simply acknowledging a bad habit can help reduce it. Consider how people use swear jars to stop themselves from swearing. You can apply this same sort of method to your impatience, right? Use the Notepad app in your phone or a physical diary to write down every instance when your impatient just boils over. You will quickly be able to identify common trends and triggers, as well as see how much time you're wasting on being impatient. Because, we do. We waste a lot of time. And, you'll also be able to see and look back on a situation which, now that you have calmed down and realize that your impatience was unfounded, which might better prepare you to deal with a similar situation in the future. So, yes. Number 10, retrain or teach those who make you impatient. So, in some cases, your impatience will stem from someone else's incompetence or mistakes or failure to follow procedures. So, this generally occurs at work although impatience can also stem from partners, friends, children, or companies you employ for services. In these cases, the problem could be solved by you spending some time retraining or teaching those involved. So if it's someone at work who makes regular repeated mistakes and you're just like, I don't know what the F to do anymore, or a housekeeping company, or, that maybe cleans your house incorrectly, or issues that you can improve with training. So for example, if you're feeling impatient because you have an assistant at work or someone that you work with keeps sending emails riddled with typos, you can just sit down with them to improve the situation. You can talk through the more common or embarrassing misspellings or help them install a better spell checker. But these are just little things that you can help fix in your day-to-day life at work or with people you know. It will make a time investment now. But it should remove the cause behind your impatience in the future, It takes time to invest in things like that right now. But trust me, in the future, it will make things a whole lot better. Number 11, give yourself a break. Give yourself a timeout. Literally. Go outside for 10 minutes, take a quick walk around the block, or simply walk away from the cause of your impatience. This quick little break can help you to clear your head and approach the issue with problem-solving logic rather than unhelpful impatience. So that's a good way to go. Trust and believe the process, okay? Number 12, accept what you cannot change. My God, it took me a long time to get this one down. Many situations in life require patience. And, often there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. So perhaps you're waiting to hear back from the bank, or you're waiting to recover from an injury so you can get out and exercise again. These things simply take time, and stressing about it doesn't help the situation or you. Acknowledge these moments and strive to accept them. Trust me when I say overanalyzing and overthinking them will only stress you out a whole lot more. And if you accept that you can't change that situation, you'll be free to let your mind wander to more positive places. So consider employing a mantra in these scenarios, something like, this is out of my control, so I'm going to do my best to not let it stress me out. Sometimes saying things out loud can help you effectively, internalize them. Number 13, focus on the bigger picture. Will the cause of your impatience matter in 5 years' time? Will it even matter in 5 hours? Often, one of the reasons behind why you might be feeling impatient is not the end of the world. And by reminding yourself that it doesn't interfere with the bigger picture, you may be able to let it go a little bit more easy, at least. So, if something small or insignificant is driving you batshit crazy, try to place it in the context of the bigger picture. For example, if you're frustrated that you were overcharged for a milkshake at a drive-thru, consider whether the extra $1 or $2 will actually impact your financial well-being. If the answer is no, then you're best to focus on the milkshake and, not the surprise expense. Number 14, remember the goal. Slightly different from thinking of the bigger picture. Remember the goal is a way to move through impatience by keeping a specific reason in mind. I love this one. Whenever I'm just feel myself feeling triggered, I'm like, remember the goal. Remember the goal, Vanessa. And I hope that you guys remember your goals. For example, waiting out. If you have a toddler who's throwing a tantrum, it's never easy. But the reason you're doing it might be to teach them that screaming don't result in them getting what they want. Or perhaps you're one of those people that's putting up with a difficult situation at work, knowing that your perseverance will put you in a good stead for getting promoted. No matter the exact situation, if you have a specific reason for putting yourself through a discomfort, maintain laser focus on that reason instead of wallowing in the discomfort itself. Number 15, find healthy ways to alleviate your impatience. Finding a healthy outlet for negative emotions is a useful skill for anyone and for any unwanted feelings. Some find an outlet through various forms of exercise, running or yoga. And then others turn to creative outlets like scrapbooking or writing, and others, again, enjoy productive activities such as cooking or gardening. Find an outlet for your frustrations and turn to them basically whenever you start to feel overwhelmed. Number 16, look to others. Look around you. How are other people dealing with the same difficult situation? There are many times when you're not suffering through trying situations by yourself, trust me. And by being surrounded by others, you have two options for dealing with it. In the first, you can learn from other people, watch how they deal with it, and emulate their calm response to improve your own patience. And the second, you can be the one leading by example. Even if you're feeling ready to scream internally, an audience can help you rein, your annoyance and put it on the face of, practicality. Number 17, remember that you won't become a patient guru overnight, okay? This sounds a bit ironic, but be patient with your patience. A man who attempts a marathon with zero training will unsurprisingly not make it far. It takes regular training to become adept in any skill, and learning to become more patient is no different. So know that you will make mistakes. Become impatient and struggle. Know that 1 week of trying strategies such as these to make you more patient, they're not going to magically transform you. It takes time to form a habit, and the only way to achieve your goal is to simply keep trying. Number 18, allow yourself to be impatient. Sometimes these are some events in life that are too wondrous, too frustrating, and too disappointing to merely take a deep breath and move on. I get it. But in these rare moments, you can allow yourself to be impatient. Telling yourself that you'll never again feel impatient is like telling yourself you'll never eat another French fry. And just like a strict diet, the occasional indulgence can be key to letting these impulses out of your system. As long as you aren't hurting someone, venting your frustration to a friend, finding a pillow to punch the shit out of, or going somewhere isolated to let out a releasing scream can help you get over the impatience faster, even if you're giving into it somewhat. Just, understand that it may help you to be patient the rest of the time, but knowing that you can save your impatience for moments that truly warrant, that letting loose part. Number 19. Focus on the small wins. Certain processes take a long time, and it can feel like you're making zero progress despite your efforts, because I've been there. However, in these cases, there are likely still small, even microscopic successes along the way. Focus on these small wins to remind yourself that progress is being made. Even if it's going at a fucking snail's pace, just understand that you are making that progress and applaud yourself. A good example is maybe you're buying a home. This process begins with visiting seemingly endless open homes, right? Maybe you have to go out and you keep looking at places, talking to countless real estate agents, or comparing mortgage options, looking at the pros and cons of various suburbs. And that's just the beginning. It's a process that takes patience. But with every decision made and every piece of paper signed brings you one step closer to that final goal. Celebrate those small moments as individual steps that lead you to the top. Number 20. De-stress in other areas. As often as not, losing patience is a symptom. You may be overtired, stressed. Sorry, you guys, I need to drink a little water. You may be overtired, stressed, or otherwise feeling down, which creates an atmosphere in which the slightest grievance can feel like the most gigantic hurdle. Instead of putting your focus on maintaining your cool in a tough situation, move your energy towards de-stressing in other areas. This could mean taking on less work, delegating more tasks, taking time off for yourself, prioritizing sleep, booking a holiday Although, right now it may be a little bit difficult, but, go camping somewhere, camp in your backyard, camp at the park. I don't know. Try to get away, go visit family. Whatever method you find to reduce your everyday stress, you may find it easier to improve your patience by cutting away the underlying reason why you're feeling so impatient in the first place. Excuse me. 21. Pride yourself in your patience. When you consider patience to be a skill, just like baking or piano playing, you can allow yourself to take pride in it. And when you pride in your patience, you will start to see yourself as someone who is a patient person. In this case, it could be a fake it till you make it experience. Seeing yourself as a patient can help you become truly patient faster. In a tense moment, this little self-reminder, can help you to hold on to your composure and basically do nothing but be patient. Number 22, ask others for help. Please. Finally, if it's not a situation that you can improve, you may be able to ask others for their help instead. For example, perhaps you're struggling through writing a report at work when other team members are not contributing their share. Before you quickly lose patience with everyone, talk to upper management about the issue and ask for help in ensuring your team members play their roles. So, losing patience rarely happens in a vacuum. And since other people are therefore almost always involved, there will always be an opportunity to reach out. So, when it doesn't pay to be patient, despite all the ways you can become more patient, you must also keep in the back of your mind that the idea that you don't always have to be patient, in some cases, putting on a face is more damaging than confronting an issue head on. So perhaps your boss is, giving you, didn't give you a pay as promised, or perhaps a partner is treating you poorly, or, and expecting you to be nothing but patient with them. In such scenarios, remember your self-worth, and don't put, patience before your own well-being. Overall, patience is every bit of a virtue as the saying goes, and then some. But teaching yourself how to be more patient can pay off for your well-being, your work, and your relationships. And, you can add this hugely beneficial skill to your resume after all. So just think about that. Just think about that for a whole lot of minutes. So, there are little quick strategies that you can use to when you start, facing these impatient moments. So, you can try to tally mark things so that you can count how many times you've been impatient, make sure that you figure out your triggers, make sure that you're taking those deep breaths, count to 10 if you need to. Remember to start small. It's, becoming patient, it's not an overnight job, you guys. And take a time out. Remember what's important to you in the long run. Keep practicing, just keep practicing, because being patient opens up wonderful opportunities for you. Make sure to visualize ahead and remember that things can take time. Teach yourself stuff. Find healthy ways to relieve your frustration. Try meditation and just laugh and just love, because reacting with love ultimately, for impatience, that's the best solution. So, yes, you guys, thank you so much. I hope anything that I said here today really helps you think about ways that you can start to be more patient, and that, can help you well on your way to kind of get started. If you have any questions about today's show, feel free to message me at peopletalknow@hotmail.com, and I'll get back to you. I'll reach out, little email here and there. But yes, you guys, so those were 22 simple yet effective ways to be more patient. And I hope that, you try some of them, that you utilize them, and, reach out to me and let me know if you tried any of the basically solutions that I offered in today's podcast, or strategies. If they could be a solution if you actually try the strategy, should I say. So yes, you guys, as always, you guys know that I like to leave every show with a joke and a word of the day. So let me get started with that really quickly. Really quickly. Okay. So let's start off with the joke of the day. So in a supermarket, Ivan lost sight of his wife. He comes up to a nice young lady and asks, "Will you talk with me for a couple of minutes, please?" And the young lady's like, "Why should I? It's always the same. As soon as I get into talking with a pretty woman, my wife abruptly pops up from out of nowhere." So yeah, that joke was called "In a Supermarket, Ivan Lost Sight of His Wife." So there you go. So this guy, he goes up, talks to a pretty young lady because he couldn't find his wife, but he knew that if he approached a young, hot girl, wifey was going to pop up and be like, "What the hell's going on?" So there you go, you guys. That's how you can find your significant other in the store. You heard it here first. And as always, you guys know I like to have, a joke and a word of the day because you guys know that I like you guys leaving my podcast with a little bit of laughter, a little bit of humor, and a new word to build up your vocabulary. So today's word of the day is risible. Risible is spelled Risible. And the definition of it is capable of laughing, disposed to laugh, arousing or provoking laughter, especially associated with, relating to, or used in laughter. Did you know if someone makes a ridiculous remark about your risible muscles, they're not necessarily, deriding your physique. Risible can also mean associated with laughter. So risible muscles can simply be the ones used for laughing. You've also got a set of risurus muscles around your mouth that help you smile. Next time you find something laughable, tip your hat. The Latin verb meaning to laugh that gave us risible as well as ridiculous and deride. So there you go, you guys. Go out and use the word risible. Use it in a sentence. And hashtag people talk now and let me know. Give you a shout out on my IG. So yes, you guys. I hope that everyone is having a fantastic day and that, you stay focused, you stay alert, and you stay happy. So thank you guys so much for listening. Today's podcast, it may not be as long as other podcasts previously, but I really wanted you guys to focus on today, on listening to my voice and just, writing down some of these effective ways that can help you to be more patient, because I know a whole lot about patience and I know that it's definitely something that just doesn't come naturally. But I think if we together practice it little by little and we do some of these strategies, that we can all become better together. Because ultimately, being impatient is not good for your health. It's not good for your skin, it's not good for your heart, it's not good for your mind, for your health. It just, most of the time, when you're feeling impatient, you're not feeling good. When we're not happy, we're not feeling good. And so my advice for you this morning is just, try to, conquer all things through patience in yourself. And just try your best. And that's all you can really do, because, essentially that it's not something that, we can fail at, it's something that we can only become better at. And so I still get upset from time to time, of course, but not nearly as much as I used to. And so understand that, you will fail at times, you will notice yourself, you will call yourself out, and you'll say, you know what, something keeps triggering me. But just pay attention to the things that trigger you whenever you do lose your patience, and, focus on your breath and focus on what's going to, ultimately get you to a place where you're not nearly having as much reactions as you used to. So that's the goal here. That's the goal for the month of August. And we talked about it this Wednesday. So I will check back with you next podcast and, ask you what's going on. How are we doing with our patience? Have we gotten any better? Have you tried any strategies? Because chances are that if you listen to today's podcast, you actually want to become a more patient person. So I totally get it. So yes, thank you guys so much for listening. We have made it all the way to episode 48, and I feel so grateful to be able to basically be doing what I love to do and talk to you guys through my podcast and have so many, develop so many close friendships and relationships with all of you guys. And if you're new here and you don't know what the hell, like, what is this? I'm Vanessa Herrera, and I'm the host of People Talk Now. This is a podcast that comes out every single Wednesday morning, so don't miss out. Share with your friends and loved ones. And if you like today's video, you like what you heard, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. That's fine. That's all good. Because you know what? I can learn from, that thumbs down of what you actually want to hear, what you like and what you don't like. So it's a learning experience. And I'm surely not going to lose my cool over it. So yes, you guys, don't forget to also share it and to subscribe if you're new here. Share the love, share the wealth. And, as always, you guys, have a kick-ass Wednesday. Until next time. Bye.